Hi everyone, my name's Megan Comer. I am the registered dietitian nutritionist here at Roundtree Gardens. And today we're going to be talking about chronic inflammation, specifically in the month of May. It's National Arthritis Awareness Month, and arthritis has a lot of different components to it. The disease is different depending on what type of arthritis that you have, but basically it stems from chronic inflammation in our bodies that usually affects our joints and is associated with symptoms like severe or even debilitating sometimes joint pain that can affect our mobility. But chronic inflammation goes beyond that. Chronic inflammation also leads to many of our chronic diseases. So like diabetes and cardiovascular disease, our heart health, our kidney health, even cancers. So trying to combat chronic inflammation as a whole is really key in continuing to have a thriving, healthy lifestyle. And so we're going to be talking about how we can help combat this chronic inflammation, specifically by choosing some specific foods. And we're going to be talking about the Mediterranean diet. And the Mediterranean diet is a diet that is found and really prevalent in the countries that are surrounding the Mediterranean Sea. And these countries focus on these Mediterranean diet principles. You find lots of fresh vegetables, fresh fruit, whole grains, unsaturated fat sources like nuts and seeds, and olive oil, and really great fatty fish, rich proteins that are lower in saturated fat and higher in unsaturated fat, specifically omega-3 fatty acids. So we're going to be talking about the Mediterranean diet a little bit, and we're going to dive into a really simple and healthy and delicious Mediterranean style salad. And all of the ingredients here you can find at Roundtree Gardens at our salad bar on a daily basis, and also you can find them very easily in any grocery store. So we'll dive right into it. The first component of our salad is going to be our salad base, which is just going to be some sort of delicious leafy green. So today I have here a mix of spinach and romaine lettuce, but really any leafy green can work. You could do a little kale in there if you want more of a hearty crunch. You could do even a red lettuce, even some cabbage would be great. All of these green sort of leafy vegetables are really high in all our fat-soluble vitamins even, so vitamins A, D, E, and K, and also really high in antioxidants, right? Most foods or fruits and vegetables that are really vibrant in color, you can usually associate that with some sort of health benefit because that means that they have some sort of antioxidant, so some sort of property in them that's going to quench free radicals or stressors that's building up in our bodies and help our body fight that and get rid of that. So high in antioxidant foods. We're starting off with our green leafy vegetables as most delicious salads do. So that's our base. We've got romaine and some spinach. And then our second ingredient, which is already on our plate here, is our tomatoes. So tomatoes are definitely found in the Mediterranean diet. And when talking about combating chronic inflammation, tomatoes are a great way to do just that. They are high in their antioxidant and many antioxidants, but the main one that you'll hear a lot about is lycopene. So tomatoes, we're getting some lycopene, which is also going to help us combat our chronic inflammation. And then our extra components on our salad is going to be, we're going to add some sort of healthy fat. So we've got our vegetables here. We're going to add a healthy fat of some nuts. And nuts are a great way to add a little extra texture to a salad, of course, but also the healthy fat in nuts. Specifically here we have our walnuts. So I'm going to add just a little bit. This is about 1/4 of a cup, but for my salad I'm going to add just like a half of that serving. The walnuts are going to be really high in omega-3 fatty acids, which is basically the most healthy fat source, and it's not only going to be really good in as far as combating our chronic inflammation, but also making sure that we're feeling satiated after a salad, right? So if your salad maybe didn't have any healthy fat source, you might feel like you need something more after a delicious salad. So it's going to help us feel hopefully full and satiated, and it's really going to help us get those healthy omega-3 fatty acids. Not only can omega-3 fatty acids help us control our cholesterol, but again, really important in just maintaining homeostasis in our bodies and avoiding that buildup of the stressors, the chronic inflammatory compounds. So we've got our walnuts, and then we're going to add in some sort of protein, right? So we've got some protein from the walnuts, but we're going to add some fatty fish, and I've got some tuna salad here that I'm just going to add. Tuna is a great fatty fish. Also, other fatty fish that also have omega-3 fatty acids would be like a salmon, even some anchovies if you're filling up for that. Salmon you could do, tuna you could do like a cooked tuna, seared ahi tuna even, right onto a salad. We've got a tuna salad here that's mixed with some pimentos, that's really delicious, and a little bit of mayonnaise for texture. But it's a really great way to boost our protein intake. Again, make sure that we're feeling satiated after our salad. Also is going to be just great and delicious flavor, but again, really high in our omega-3 fatty acids. So the American Heart Association recommends that you have at least 2 to 3 servings of fish every week, and that's to make sure that we're getting those unsaturated fats in, the omega-3 fatty acids that's going to help our heart health, and also decreasing your intake of saturated fat sources. So a really important compound of the Mediterranean diet as well is trying to seek out where you can get some plant-based proteins into your diet, so you're not relying on the proteins that are higher in saturated fats, like beef or pork, that are higher in those fats that are solid at room temperature. So if you think of a delicious steak that has that fat marbling that gives it the delicious flavor and texture, we don't want to have those kind of things more often than we have a leaner protein, because those do affect our body. Increasing intake of saturated fat is directly correlated with increasing our cholesterol levels. So getting your proteins from either a plant-based source, so like whole grains, beans, legumes, soy, or a fish source that's leaner in fat and high in that omega-3 fatty acids. And then last but not least, believe it or not, our dressing is going to be our final portion. We're going to have some extra virgin olive oil that we're going to drizzle over our salad for its dressing. And again, this is a really great way to get polyunsaturated fats, healthy fats, and also, believe it or not, we're back to antioxidants. So the difference between extra virgin olive oil and just a regular olive oil would be its antioxidant component. So if you're choosing extra virgin olive oil, you're getting more antioxidants from your olive oil that's again going to help combat inflammation. So we're going to just drizzle over a little olive oil. 1 or 2 tablespoons a day is really key to the Mediterranean lifestyle, utilizing olive oil over butter even. So having your toast in the morning with eggs and having a little drizzle of olive oil as your fat source instead of the butter that's a saturated fat source is going to make sure you're getting the good healthy for you fats and help to reduce your chronic inflammation. I hope that we learned a lot today, and I appreciate your time. I'm going to dig into my salad.